Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can get that puppy up there. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to J-Day 2019 whitianga.
Hold on.
I'm all fuzzy. My wife has that same problem with me. Ooh, I think it's because I'm standing close to this puppy.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, tails too fuzzy. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. So Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy, was he? Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy, was he? How much wood could a woodchuck chuck of a woodchuck could chuck wood? Irish wristwatch. Black bug spud. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, give us a chord, Mike. I need some feedback from the audience on this one as well. Is this coming through clear and balanced for you? Because we've got two different thingies over here and another little different thingy over there, and we have no idea how they sound together. And we need your feedback and support, ladies and gentlemen, to figure us out. So let's just play the first few chords of our first song. 5446 was my number, and by crowd appreciation, I want you to tell me whether or not the levels are based or not. Stick it up, mister! How would I say so, yeah? Oh, yeah. Get your hands in the air, sir! And you will get no hurt, mister, no. I say yeah, this is what I say, say come and help me now, yeah, this is what I say, do you believe I would take something with me, and give it to the policeman, I wouldn't do that. And if I do that, I would say, sir, want to put the judge on me. I wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't do that. Cause I'm not a fool to work myself. So as innocent of what they done to me. They were wrong. One more time. They were wrong. Oh, give it to me one time. Oh, give it to me 2 times. Yeah. Oh, give it to me 3 times. Give it to me 4 times. 54, 46 was my number. Oh, yeah. Right now, someone else has my number. One more time, 54, 46 was my number. Was my number now. Right now, someone else has my number. I say yeah, listen what I say, say come on help me now, yeah. Hey, give it to me 1 time. Give it to me 2 times. Yeah. Oh, give me. No. 54, 46 was my number. Right now, someone else has a number. One more time, 54, 46 was my number. Right now, someone else has a number. I'll take that as a yes. It's apparently the audio levels are balanced, boys. I'm Vinny. These are the Vendettas, and we're Vinny and the Vendettas. So our second song tonight is very relevant to tonight because the first song was about somebody who'd been busted for cannabis, and spent time in a cell. The second song is about a number of things. It's about keeping happy. It's called Keeping Your Luftwaffe Aloft. Luftwaffe. Wait, you're not set up for that? Oh, wait, no. I fucked it up because I'm stoned. It's actually, I'm on my way back home.
traverse 1,000 battlefields, yeah. But every time I close my eyes to see all my dead friends, I'm on my way back home. I'm on my way back home. I'm trying all the time to have some fun in a little place that's not mine. But every time I fail, then I realize that I need my own space. I'm on my way back home. I'm on my way back home. Do, 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 I'm trying all the time to live my life up to the fullest, but every time I take another sip and die instead. I'm on my way back home. Yeah, I said I'm on my way. It's my way. It's my way. I'm on my way back home.
I'm an incredibly sweaty man. Oh. Stupid cunt, you wear a suit. It's kind of important to understand your own flaws. Like this stage, for example. When we're sitting up this stage, I wanted to like strut back and forth like a fucking big peacock. And like, yeah. And As soon as I came over here, though, I started standing on my fucking drummer's drums, and they started rocking back and forth, and I was like, oh no, we can't fuck up the beat, mate. So being a New Zealander, I found some fucking twigs and popped that cunt up right there. Free to strut, fucking BG style. And tonight's, well, I guess today, because when tonight comes, we will no longer be here. Today's about cannabis. A lot of people don't know that cannabis is the oldest crop in mankind's history. It is true that without cannabis, we would have not even created civilization. It was our first crop. And indeed, we all have an endocannabinoid system. Cannabinoids from within. All of your cells from birth have receptors to cannabinoids, ladies and gentlemen. When you drink breast milk from your mother's milk has cannabinoids to stimulate your appetite so that you will consume more as a baby and grow stronger. The cannabis plant works very much the same way for human beings. Each of our cells cries out for it. So when you ingest cannabis, a cell that's in perhaps disrepair will say, oh my God, I need some zinc, I need some magnesium, I need some vitamin C, give me something. And then, so what it's got these little sea anemone things that they come off the cell, right? That's specifically looking for cannabinoids that are loose through the system. So they'll grab out, find this loose cannabinoid, and it'll send it a signal saying, I need these things. The cannabinoid molecule is made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, the three building blocks of life. And its cell structure is so complicated that it can actually rearrange itself, transmute, one might say, to give your cells precisely what it is they're craving. And when your cell gives it a signal and says, I need this, the cannabinoid molecule literally rearranges its molecular structure and inserts itself into the cell to give it what it needs. Now you know why cannabis seems to work for just about everything, because your entire bodily system runs on the endocannabinoid system. And if you become cannabinoid deficient, you become more closed-minded, which explains prohibitionists as well. Okay. A little bit of factoids from the Vinny Eastwood show. Also, one more before we start our last electric song of the evening. There'll be 3 more acoustics after this. I was interviewing Barry Cooper last night, the most decorated drug enforcement officer in US history. He told me that if you tell somebody about your grow, the chance of you getting busted goes up 10%. If you tell 3 people about your grow, the chance goes up 30%. If you tell 10 people about your grow, you're getting busted. It's the 10% rule, ladies and gentlemen. Loose lips sink ships. And understand that there are people who suffer from maybe not physical ailments, but psychological ones, partly due to being busted with cannabis, who need that weed. So keep your fucking mouth shut about your grows. God damn it. You'll save yourself a lot of pain, and also the pain of all the people who you're selling your weed to. God damn it. All right, so our next song, as I digress, is called Luftwaffe or a Loft, and we're just going to get this other camera going here. Oh. 1 moment, please. And 3, 2, 1, go!
Cause understanding all you patented technology was traded with the memory of the Nazis. They had
Okay, now we just have to wait for the Gat Father to swap over his acoustic guitar. So we have over here on the drums, Barack Ford, the Fat Rat. Give it up for Barack Ford, ladies and gentlemen, on the drums. Ian Shaw on the bass. And Mikhail Pierce setting up the guitar. So we've only been together a year and we've already been signed by E4 Records. Got a new studio opening up in New Lynn in a couple of months. We're going in there to record, get some albums out there. Just been made the executive producer of American Freedom Radio, so I can play whatever I want. And so hopefully I'll play a couple of my own fucking songs because I'm a narcissistic cunt like that. And hopefully as well, other New Zealand artists who understand that there's a difference between making money and making a difference will contact me, work on their music, and we'll get it on the fucking radio in the United States. Because if you're famous in New Zealand, that's famous to 4 million people, but when you're famous in the States, that's famous to 400 million people. So I want to bring New Zealand, put us on the world stage, and show the world that we really do have some monstrous talent here. In every single corner you can chuck a stick in the air or kick over a random rock that you're turning across, and you'll find an incredible New Zealand artist who nobody's listening to. In the United States in 2018, it was discovered that there were more books of poetry being published than there were readers of poetry. We have lost the fundamental drive that once defined us, the need for art, the need for expression, and the need for fun. We need these things to survive just like we do water and food and weed. Now, well, it's absolutely true. And another thing that's absolutely true that you can bank on is that weed brings people together. It does. Anybody smell something? Oh mate, what is that? What is that? And all of a sudden, the curiosity is piqued. Somebody goes looking for it. They wouldn't go looking for it if it smelled like shit, would they? They'd be like, oh, that smells terrible. That smells like a sickie. I'm not going to go check that out. But when you introduce a little bit of weed, then there's a little bit of a curiosity factor. But also, let's talk about prohibition. And the concept of prohibition is, if you tell people to not do something, suddenly, magically, they just won't do it anymore. This concept was tested in France, and I think it was the mid-1600s by a French king. He wanted to sell potatoes to the French people. The French people hated potatoes. They thought they were bland, they thought they were tasteless. And they thought that they were only the kind of thing that rich, dumbass snobs who didn't know any better would eat. So this French king set up a plot of potatoes. And around these potatoes he erected a great wall. And atop this wall he appointed many guards to guard it night and day, this potato crop. And the most interesting thing happened. Within a day, people were starting to steal those potatoes and start selling them at markets. When you tell somebody to not do something, that is a surefire way that it's good and you want to go after it. Prohibition doesn't fucking work. Alright, so, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into our acoustic set for the night. It's called Everybody Wants to Be Mexican. Dos, tres, cuatro. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Everybody wants to be Mexican. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Everybody wants
Mexican. 2, 3, 4. When I was a young man, I drank too much tequila. I tried to commit suicide, but they could not kill me. I tried to be a Mexican and smoke the way they do. I tried to look out funny, but my life came unglued. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Everybody wants to be Mexican. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Everybody wants to be Mexican. 2, 3, 4. I take that 10 minutes to stop mezclando. I like to stay well rested when my work is done. I try to work all night and I like to sleep all day. But sometimes things just do not go my way. Everybody! Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Everybody wants to be Mexican. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Everybody wants to be Mexican.
But I'm not even Mexican, bro. Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This next song, a lot of people treat life seriously, but some people think it's just a game. I'm tired of these motherfuckers fucking with my shit, motherfucker. They're fucking with my shit all day long. I can't earn a single dollar without a motherfucker taking away my motherfucking dough. And then I get home and I think the work is over. And my motherfucking missus telling me to get the motherfucking homework done. It's like I never left home. It's like I'm still at school. It's like every single time I wake up and every single time I open my eyes, I see somebody telling me to do something else that I don't want to do. And it seems like nobody else even has a clue. Everything is so twisted up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's sitting around at different games that they ought to be playing. Different distractions. Something to make them. Something to break them. Something to bring them the tears or laughter or the fear. But they don't care. They don't see where everything is going. They think it's just a game. But its truth is plain. That what's happening is real. And that fear that you feel is the motivation. It is the end of the long equation. Reason for your being. That's why you feel horrible. That's why you feel angry. That's why you feel afraid. Because you're meant to be doing something about it. You're meant to be doing something about it. I had to scream and shout it. Cause I'll listen to you, bitch, and know. Why don't you just shut up and leave me alone? Ooh. I'm gonna leave your establishment. I'm going home. Ooh. I've just eaten off my bones for the last time. And I've been arrested for my crime. I did it every other day. It was just one of those games that I played.
And our last song for the night, the one that we really came here to play. is the new ALCP theme song. Still working on it, but we fucking love it, and I know you're going to love it too, because you blazed it. How could you not? So.
This is the place where we belong. I'll tell no one. Legalize cannabis. This is the place where we belong. Little war, legalize cannabis. This is the place, this is the place, this is the place where we belong, where we belong, where we belong. I'll tell the world, I'll tell the world. Legalize, legalize cannabis. Cannabis. Come on, everybody, sing it out. This is the place where we belong. I'll tell more. Legalize cannabis. This is the place where we belong. I'll tell the world. Legalize cannabis. Come on, everybody! 1, 2, 3. This is the place. Come on, legalize. We belong. I'll tell the world. I'll tell the world. Legalize, legalize cannabis, cannabis. One more time, this is the place where we belong. I'll tell the world. Legalize.
Thank you very much to the three people, Clever. You're wonderful, weren't you? All right. Well, last time we played to one person, that was really nice, and today it's a hell of a lot more than that, so that's fantastic. Thank you very much. I'm Vinny, these are the Vendettas, and we're Vinny and the Vendettas. Thank you very much for your attention. You can check us out on facebook.com/Vinny and the Vendettas. That's spelling out the words and Vinny with a Y, because it's the most important question. Thank you very much.